So pleased to welcome I don't want to say old friend of the Folk Club, but friend that we haven't seen for a while, Mike Stack. Welcome. So excited to have you coming to the club on November the 14th. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I'm excited too, and thank you for this, Suze. And you can say old friend. We can use the vintage friend word. How about that? That sounds like great. Um, how have I been? I've been great. It's been a long time since we've spoken. Actually, it was really nice to see you at the Canmore Festival last weekend. And wow, how amazing it was that we saw each other and then we saw each other again. And you're like, "Hey, what are you doing November 14th?" And I was like, I don't know, but I think it's going to be we're something that you're doing that I'm going to be doing. So,
Yeah, exactly. And so I looked back and it was like early 2000s. You played the club. It was 2003 and 2005,
something
some,
like that.
something like that. And then, you know, you haven't been back. And it's just not because I wasn't wanting you to come back or that we didn't think about you. You were off doing other explorations.
Right. So the I Need Wheels album was my first solo album. That came out, I think it was 2002. I'm not quite sure. I have to double check on that. And that's when I played your club last. I forget who I opened for, but I remember it was a great club. There was a lot of people there. Full house as usual. And then, I went on to work with that album a lot and tour that album, et cetera, et cetera. And then in 2008, I got a grant and did my second album, 98 Years. And right about then, I kind of ducked away for a while. I didn't really give that 98 Years album a lot of push. My personal life at that point in time was kind of in a little bit of a zone. And it remained that way for about 10 years. I didn't stop writing. I didn't stop performing, although I didn't perform as much at all. Gigs here, gigs there, just to keep my chops up. Um, Traveled to Mexico a lot in the winters and played music there and wrote. But doing another album wasn't really in the cards. I was thinking about this yesterday. Uh, the 98 Years album is, if you can see it, there's a dog on the cover. This is a painting that Steve Coffey did for this album cover. And I commissioned him to do this from a photograph. This dog was my best friend for 14 years, 98 dog years. And so when he passed away in my arms, back in 2003, I think it was. It killed me. It just broke me to pieces. People can understand that have animals, or maybe that don't have animals. Anyway, I likened the not making an album between 2008 and now the same way I people say, "Are you going to get another dog?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not, because my life as it is would not be fair to that dog. So I'm just going to not get another animal until it's fair to the animal. I'm not going to do another album until it's fair to the songs." And so it was that. And then 10 years went by and a lot of stuff happening. Not anything devastating, but there was a lot of stuff happening in my life, family and such. And 4 years ago-ish, pandemic-ish, it kind of it everything sort of dissipated. Everything, all those things flattened out, went away. I addressed them, and one day I felt myself writing Lucky Man, the title track of this album. And that song kind of became my gospel. Every verse of that song, the chorus of that song. So when folks do hear it, they will get the message I'm trying to convey now. And from there, I started writing more and gathering and thought, I'm ready almost to record. Steve Dawson and I had been talking for many, many years about making an album together someday. Contacted him, we talked more, and over a couple of years, we decided what we'd do, sent him demos, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, it was arranged that on March 4th of this year, 2025, I went to Nashville, and he arranged everything, and we made this record that I'm extremely proud of.
And
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 so,
it is a really lovely um, reemergence. And everyone that I have spoken to since we had that great conversation on the weekend, and when I've said Mike is coming to the club, they're just like, "Oh, I'm so glad!" Like, haven't heard from him for a while. Like, it's you've been in the back of people's minds, just like the album was in the back of your mind. And so, really, really glad and grateful to have you come on November the 14th to the Calgary Folk Club. Folks can get their tickets. They're on sale now at calgaryfolkclub.com. Now, one of the things that we do is that we have not only the live show, but we also live stream it. And folks who get the live stream have it available for 72 hours. And all of the proceeds go to the artists. And so this would be a nice way that you can really let people know that you are back and playing,
yeah.
that just to do music more
Yes, yes.
comes at a point in your life where many of us are, where it's like we're we go, you know what? There's more behind me than there is in front of me, probably.
That's the song Future and Past. That's what that song's all about.
Yeah,
Got
and what
a
do
lot less future than I've got past.
yeah, and what do I want to make of it? What do I want to make of my past, and what
Yeah.
do I want to make of my future? So, what are you seeing down the road for you? Like, let's say March of 2026 or March of 2027. Where are you seeing the path going for Mike?
Well, this is the path I'm hoping to have. Starting right away, I mean, out of the gate with this new album, we haven't, the official release is going to happen at the end of September. I'm going to go live with that tomorrow on my website, the Ironwood website, my Facebook page, and all that business. So the push right now, and it's really nice. I'm actually getting some gigs right now into the end of this year, including yours. And thank you again. November 14th is going to be awesome. Um, so the big push, I want to get back in action. You know, when I did these two previous albums, I was very, very fortunate to have a lot of CKUA, CBC, lots of international, not lots of international play, but some international play. And I really want to get back in the saddle and get in my vehicle and travel around and hit those house concerts and the folk clubs and the festivals and everything in between that is appropriate for my kind of singer-songwriter type genre.
Right. Well, Calgary Folk Club certainly is one of those, and we're excited to have you join us on November the 14th. Tickets on sale now, calgaryfolkclub.com. Thanks so much for joining me today, Mike.
My pleasure. Thank you, Suze.